Hi everyone, welcome back another week, another tutorial. This is easy oil painting, and this week I'm going to do a two-part, maybe a three-part, I don't know yet. I think maybe a two-part tutorial on a big seascape, and it's going to be a big sailing ship out at sea, very rough waves going up and down, and a big stormy sky. Now this week I'm going to focus on the sky because I want to take my time, and I suppose you could call this really a tutorial on clouds. It's just clouds, just creating a nice dramatic sky for a seascape. So very dark, grey, bluey kind of colours. Very limited palette and a nice big canvas. I'll turn the camera here and show you what I have. Here we go. I think, if memory serves me right, which is not great, it's 24 by 18. So it's not a huge canvas, it's a nice size. It's pretty much the same as that. Now that's the one I didn't sell at the exhibition, so that's the one I still have here. So I could always use that frame for my seascape, or just make another one I suppose. So yeah, that's the only one I didn't sell. I sold 4 altogether at the exhibition, because when I went up to collect my artwork, she told me that another one had just sold. So we had 4 sales. That was fantastic. I'm really proud of myself now for doing that for the orphanage. 4 big paintings sold. Fantastic. So this is what I've left. I'll just stick this up on my eBay or my Etsy page or something, try and sell it. Or I might hang it in inside the house. You know, it's a lovely painting. So here we go. Big seascape, and now there's a bit of drawing on that there, as you can see. That's just an old building I was going to paint, but I decided not to, and I went over it. I'm going to go over it with this. Is this thing zooming in and out now on its own? What's going on here? Seriously. Yeah, I'm going to have to turn the automatic focus on this thing, I reckon. Okay, so that's it. I have a picture of a big sky, a nice big rough kind of a sky here. Something along those lines. So I'm going to do a big sky first, and we'll finish it then, perhaps next week, I'm thinking. Okay, so thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this, and don't be daunted now by the amount of clouds in this, alright? You can always just perhaps take a little section of the tutorial and practice that little section if you like for your own sky. You don't have to do the whole sky exactly like this, okay? This is just, I'm aware that there's a lot of beginners out there, and I want to keep this kind of simple, but I want to do it nice as well, if you know what I mean. You know, there's an easy way of doing clouds, and there's more complicated ways of doing clouds. I'm going to do something in between, alright? I'm not going to go very much into a load of detail with this, but it's going to be very dramatic, alright? So let's hook up this camera, get some paints and brushes out, and have a bit of fun with this, alright? Don't go anywhere, I'm looking forward to this. Okay, are we ready? I'm going to name up my colours. I'm nervous about this now because I get nervous doing big paintings like this. I just hope it looks okay when it's finished. Right, titanium white, lamp black, loads of black, a little naples yellow for lights, a little magenta, I'm not too sure, I might not even use it, but it's there. Some phaylo blue, which is a lovely ocean blue, a lovely rich dark blue, some cobalt blue, and a little burnt umber just for earthy colours in there. And I have next to me some white and some black because I'm going to use a lot of this. The phaylo blue is very strong, we'll have loads in just that. So here we go, are we ready? Let's roll up the sleeves. I don't want to be getting paint on my lovely new jumper. I should have a kind of an apron really, but I'm just too lazy to go and buy one. Now, I have a small selection of brushes, a couple of little brushes, look. Just splayed out brushes, my lovely and famous by now little stubby brush, well the big one, and a medium stubby brush. And I have 2 other small little brushes as well. And we might just use a little detail brush as well later. Alright, so just, you know, a handful of little brushes. No big deal. I don't need any masking tape or anything for this. So I'm going to put this picture on your screen. Now there's a couple of pictures there. I don't know which to go for. That's one. And we have another one there. That's quite nice with the light hitting the clouds, something along those lines. We have another nice one there. So I'm not too sure, because I want the light kind of hitting the sails on the boat, if you know what I mean. So strong lights then and strong shadows coming off of the sails. So I'm not too sure. I'm still kind of messing around. I might kind of maybe take a bit of each one and just add a bit of colour here and there. That's not a bad one there, I don't think. I think we'll try something like that. So yes, because I want to create a light point on the painting. I want to create a nice light point up in the sky, so the light is coming from somewhere. Understand? I think we go with the light on this side, and maybe big clouds then with a bit of light hitting the clouds, something like that. Look, let's just have a bit of fun. This is how I approach a painting now. I kind of look at some photographs, I see what's going to go where later on in the painting. So let's just get a brush and just start painting, because I find the longer you sit and look at something and try to decide on something, the more difficult it gets to just make a start. So I think, yeah, let's just go for it. Green stubby brushes. This one now is quite battered, isn't it? But I think it will do. Let me just give this a dip into the turpentine. So I'm dipping it in my turpentine and I'm giving it a slight dab. So it's just damp. We have a big area to cover here now, so I'm going to make it nice and kind of damp at the beginning. So I'm going to start with a very light section up here. And I'm going to go for a very light blue. Now don't be afraid just to give this a go, just try it. Let's take, because it's a light blue now, I'm going to take cobalt, because cobalt is a nice forgiving kind of a blue. So a little cobalt and plenty of white. See? So the cobalt is not as rich as the phthalo blue. It's much easier to control cobalt blue than it is phthalo blue. So I start with this nice light colour now for the sky. And I don't want it just blue. I'm going to add a touch of Naples yellow into this. So it's kind of an earthy sort of a blue we have. And by the way, I have a canvas here. I primed this twice with my own primer. If you have gesso, it's the same thing, just use gesso. But I gave it 2 coats because I want the paint to move around nicely on this, and I want to be able to soften colours together quite easily. So you can see now how thin this is. It's a very, very thin colour. Now more white, I just want to thicken it up a little bit just here. And I'm going to get a nice light point then up here, you see. And I don't want it too blue. I don't want it to look like a summer's day. I want it to look like a real stormy kind of a sky. So that's a little bit too blue for me. Let's tone it down slightly. Let's take some cobalt, some white, and let's take a touch of black. And the black is very strong, so be careful. So I have a thick kind of a grey blue colour here now. And I'm going to just soften all that back in, just to tone down that blue underneath, you see? So now it's more of a dark grey sort of a blue. It's not very, very bright. And I hope you can see that there okay. And I'm going to take some white, put some white along here. Now I'm hardly even looking at the photograph at this stage now. I'm just kind of doing this my own way. I'm making it up as I go along. But I do have the photograph as a reference, just to get ideas of shapes, that type of thing. So don't be too worried. Now I'm going to go across, maybe across there just a little. Some more cobalt blue, some white. Now although this is going to be a very dramatic sky, there is going to be hints of light popping through here and there. So I want to keep that in mind. I'm keeping that in mind. I'm going to just clean this. I'm going to dip it in my turpentine once. Okay, it's soaked now, and I'm just going to give it a good clean up with this tissue here. See, and now it's pretty much almost clean again. And I'm going to take some titanium white, or not titanium white, God above, what am I saying? Some Naples yellow, plenty of white. And I want to get a nice, now that's just thick paint on its own. I want to get a nice kind of a light point around here somewhere. I'm going to scrub this on now. Just here and there, scrubbing it along, just to create a nice burst of light kind of coming through the clouds here and there on this side. So I'm taking my brush again and I'm going back into just the white. And this now for me really, I suppose, is just kind of trial and error. I've no idea how this is really going to turn out. I hope it turns out lovely, but it's, you know, trial and error. Now let's go for some very dark colours, yes? And this now is where it gets really dramatic. Some lovely dark colours and shapes. Right, I will dampen my brush very slightly again, just the corner of the brush. And I'm going to take some phaylo blue. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Is that a blue or what? And some lamp black. Plenty of each. Now look at this colour we have. My God, look at that. That's what you call a dark, rich, bluey colour. And I will take a touch of burnt umber into that, just to take the vibrancy out of it. So now we have a very dark, greeny kind of a blue. Now let's put this up here. Look, whoa, look at that. Is that dramatic or what? And I'm going to come along here and I'm going to fill all this in all the way down. There we look at that. Keep going with this. And create some little cloud up on the top. When I'm doing this now, I work quite fast and it's just a habit, so I apologise if I'm going too quickly for you. But when you start a cloud, the brush sort of just goes its own. It just takes its own course. It's very, very difficult to explain, actually. I think making that initial brush mark is the hardest. But once you do that, after that then it's pretty much, it just takes on a life of its own, the brush. So you can see now I'm kind of picking up little bits of that white here and there, and it's making new clouds, you see? So clouds within clouds. Understand what I mean? So you can already begin to see now some structure of clouds, and I want to kind of bring it down at an angle down this way, so it's swooping down from the sky. I don't want to just go straight across like this. I think that would be just pretty boring to look at. Clouds coming across. Perhaps in the distance a couple of flat ones, but for here I want this dramatic dark cloud coming right down, swooping down out of the sky. Perhaps there's even rain or something coming out of that. We could try creating that as well. Now more white, and we have enough black, we have enough everything else. So let's take some brown. I want to start bringing the colour down slightly, more grey blue rather than blue. So some burnt umber with a touch of black. So you can see now we have more of a dark grey, don't we? And we can soften that into the blue as well, look. Here and there, see? All I'm doing now is going around in little circles with my brush. My little stubby brush. Now any flat brush will do fine for this. But it has to be nice and worn. Because if you use a very flat brush, like we say for instance this, it's going to be very difficult to do with that, isn't it? Because it's like a chisel. So a very rough, worn brush like that is absolutely perfect for this kind of work. Now I've taken a bit of white and I'm just going to put a little cloud in here and there. And I'm just being very sort of free now, a couple of little flicks here and there as well. Okay. See? Couple of little flicks, and I keep sitting back now. I'm sitting back and having a good look at this to see how it is looking. I find even with my students at college or in my local centre where we give lessons, I find with my students a lot of the time they're sitting very close to the canvas like this, you see, and it's only a few inches away and they don't see the whole picture. So they might say to me, no, I don't like it, it doesn't look right. But then I'll say to them, okay, sit right back now, get up off the chair and stand back and look. And then the amazement on their faces when they actually see the painting as a whole rather than just one section, it's amazing the reaction they get. So that's what I would say. Every couple of minutes I'd sit back, way back in my studio, take a good look, and it helps you kind of visualise where everything is going to be and how it's going to look. So that's a definite must anyway, always do that. Now, a couple of little flicks up here. So imagine there's a couple of little clouds flicking along, like so. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect clouds all the time. You can do little flicks here and there. And I'm working on a dry canvas now. I love working on dry canvas because it keeps the colours nice and vibrant. Now I get a lot of comments and advice from people, people looking for advice, and a lot of people would use the Bob Ross method of putting liquid clear or liquid white on the canvas. Now that's great. If you like that type of technique, that's brilliant. Keep going at it. But I just find putting a layer of medium on a canvas, it makes it very difficult to get proper colour on your canvas, because everything is then diluted. As soon as it goes on, it's diluted. Either with the white, then it starts fading into the white, or if it's liquid clear, it starts thinning the paint. So I just find working on a dry canvas like this with a little turpentine is the best way. Well, for me, I don't know how you feel, but for me, you see, it just goes on nicely. It has a bit of a bite to the canvas. There's a bit of drag there, so you can really kind of scrub it on and get some lovely brush marks on your canvas. That's just me, it's just the way I feel about it. But bear in mind, if you're using the liquid clear or liquid white, it's going to be much difficult to achieve these types of effects. Now, let's take some more black, let's get some brown, and let's take a touch of phthalo blue. A tiny touch, because again it's very, very strong, that phthalo blue. And a little white. We're working now with nice dark colours. Right, I'll dampen my brush now very gently, just the corner of the brush. That's even too much, so I'll dab it on my tissue again. I'll go for some black, and some brown, and some white. I want to get a nice kind of an earthy grey down at this side of the canvas down here. There we go. Now this is basically just a kind of a base layer that I'm putting on. I will put loads of clouds and stuff through this very shortly, okay? So do bear with me, it takes a bit of time. Let's try some cobalt for a change. Cobalt is a nice colour, let's give him a chance. And it's just, there's a lot of mixing, that's all it is. You're constantly mixing fresh colour. There we go. Right across here. So now we have a nice light point up in the corner, don't we? And we can use that then next week when we're doing our sails. We'll have a lovely ship here now coming up, maybe at a slight angle or something, crashing through a wave. So the wave will be coming up like this, and the big ship with some light hitting those sails. And that's going to look really nice. So this week, a nice cloud tutorial. Now, so I'm basically using three colours: black, blue and brown, okay, with a little bit of white thrown in. But they're basically the three colours I'm using for the sky. And you can get a huge selection of colours just from those three colours. So always look, I'm going round in circles with my brush, creating the impressions of little clouds off in the distance. I'll keep kind of sitting back gently, just having a fast look. Is there anything I want to darken or brighten? I think I'm going to darken this somewhat over here. Let's take some black and a touch of burnt umber, and let's go really dark with this now. In fact, you know what we will do? Let's take some phthalo blue and some black, and let's go right in here and get some nice dark blacky clouds. I want to get really dark over on the side over here. So it's coming on, isn't it? So I mean, a lot of people now would even be happy with that as a sky, a simple sky like that, and you can by all means just use that if you like. Nothing wrong with that sky. It's a nice easy sky to paint, but I'm just going to put a little detail into the sky this week. for those of you who are really kind of coming on and really want to push yourselves a little bit. So let's get some more phthalo blue and some black, and I'm going to go up here and put that lovely colour in. Look at that. Again, I'm just going around in circles, you see, softening everything in together, very kind of randomly, up and down, that type of a thing. And it's real fun doing a painting like this. Now I'm going to swoop this down because I want to create the impression of the rain clouds kind of coming down off in the distance. So let me get some black now here. There we go. Pull that right down. And again, I'm sitting back, and now let me see. I'm just kind of taking my time. I'll bring some more of that down here, I think. Right across like so. Let's take a little phthalo blue with some black and pull some of that down. Look, flick it down. Okay, come on, don't be afraid, it's just paint. If I make a mess of this, I'll paint over the whole lot again, I promise. So don't be afraid just to try it. Come on. Look, you've nothing to lose, only a bit of paint. There we are. Let's get right in there with some nice colour. Now, let's have a bit of fun. Come on, so that's what it's all about. And I'm going to bring some of that over here. Create a nice little cloud off in the distance there. The cloud's kind of rolling in. There, now look at this. Look at this. Isn't that nice? And let's add a bit of shadow to one or two of these clouds up here. Okay, just like that. Couple flicking around up in the sky. Right, now I might bring one just across slightly onto this, just to give us some balance. There now, look, see? Nice and easy. There we go. Now let's sit back. Now what do we think of that? That's a lovely sky now, isn't it, already? Nice and dark and rich and, you know, really stormy. That's quite nice. I might bring it down a bit more, because the reason for that is the lower down the horizon line is, the more distance you have in your painting. So bearing that in mind, I'm going to bring it down just ever so slightly. I do want to create a lot of distance in this, but at the same time the wave is going to be quite close up, and the boat, I don't want it too far away, but I do want a nice kind of a low horizon line, if that makes sense. So I'll just bring that colour down just slightly, just a little. And we can even lighten it as well somewhat. Now I'm going to be putting on white in a few moments, some nice clouds, some nice bright clouds. Just catching the light, that's all. So these are now kind of way off in the distance. I'm going to pull that cloud right up into the sky here, just here on this side. Now, isn't that lovely? Now you would get away with that sky, I think. I would imagine the person would be happy enough with a sky like this. I think it's lovely. I'm just going to soften some of these down, and I'm pulling them down at the angle of the clouds that are kind of swooping down from that sky. So you can see I'm kind of swooping it along. Alright, just like that. Now be careful with these. I don't want to lose the shape of some of these because they're quite nice, aren't they? I like them, they're lovely. So I'll be very gentle with these. Now it is a stormy sky after all, so I don't want to make it too soft. So brush marks are good for a stormy sky like this. There, now that's fine. It's just a tiny, tiny bit. God, that's quite nice, isn't it? I wasn't expecting it to be this nice though, I'll be honest. I'll be very honest. I wasn't expecting that. Righty-o. I hope you're all doing well out there anyway. I hope you're all painting away and having lots of fun and learning new things. It's great fun, isn't it? It's great fun learning new things when you're painting. That's what makes it very exciting for me. So I've learned a couple of little techniques here now with clothes. You know, something I might not have tried before. But you know, what the heck, let's just try it. That's what it's all about. So next I'm going to paint some nice bright clouds. Now I'm hardly even going to look at the picture I have on my phone here next to me. I don't know, I could put it on the screen for you if you like, but it's just an impression of the type of cloud I was hoping to get. So let's take a brush. I'll go with a nice medium kind of medium worn brush. It's not a large, it's not a small. There's not even a size on this thing. Something like that. That's a number 4. Look, let's go with that. Okay, a number 4 brush. And let's get some nice big bright clouds done. Yes? Now would you like me to zoom in for you? Because I'm only using white. And just white, perhaps a touch of blue. I'll zoom in slightly, look. There. And I'll turn on the autofocus, I think. Alright, let's leave it at that. Okay, that'll do. Let me get some white. Still very very bright, isn't it? Okay, there we are. I'm going to take some white and I'm going to take a touch of phthalo blue. Just a tiny, tiny touch. I don't want the pure white, I want a kind of a nice light sort of a blue. So I have plenty of paint on my brush here now. And I'm going to start, I want to get a kind of a big cloud in around here. So let's just try here. And go around in circles like this. Round and round and round, and then go the opposite way when you're going back upwards like this, and we're going to soften it in. See, give it a little wiggle, soften it right back in. So I'm putting thick paint now on top of the thin paint. There's no thinners in this, just nice thick paint on its own. Then when it gets started, give a brush a quick wipe like so, and go back in then to your little touch of white and a touch of your touch of blue. I want to get a nice bright one here. Join onto that. I suppose you want to be getting the kind of the shape of the cloud just right. So you don't want just one big roundy cloud. Sort of bring it up and down and then back up again. And that makes it a nice kind of a natural looking cloud, a natural shape. Will that make sense? And look, let's just drag it across over here. Now, how's that? One cloud, one nice bright cloud. And I think, let me just give a brush a quick dab in my turpentine now and just give it a quick clean. So it's nice and clean again. We could try another one. Let's go somewhere else now with another one. And I'll show you then how I put on some nice bright highlights. So more phthalo blue now with some white. Let's come down like this into the sky, see? So it's coming right down into the sky this time, from above. I'm going round and round and round now, that's all I'm doing, look. Soften it back then into the dark, see? And I'm going to kind of turn this one then slightly. So it's going to turn very slightly, like that. And it disappears up into the sky. How's that? Isn't that lovely? Now I do want to catch some real bright sunlight on those, so because we have a very bright area, let's imagine the sun is way off over to the right hand side, okay? And the sun's going to come across just slightly and catch some of these clouds. So with a nice clean brush, you can use the same brush again. I want to take a tiny touch of Naples yellow and white, plenty of white now. Just a touch of Naples, and that will give it a nice sunlit kind of a feeling. Okay, watch now, I'll show you. Just here and there on those edges, just a little bit. Just going to catch some of those. Okay, then give the brush a wipe, and then let's go here. Nice thick paint now for this, and let's soften it back slightly. Isn't that just so easy? Just try it, have a bit of fun. Don't be afraid. So that's how isn't that how you learn? Just by trying something. And I know you don't want to ruin your lovely big canvas, but look, you can just give it a wipe with some tissue and go back over it again. I've done it many times myself. Now let's cut in front of this and create another cloud. Like so. So you can kind of begin to see now the direction of the clouds and the shape of the clouds are kind of swooping downwards at a kind of a curve, aren't they? And that brings your eye down into the painting. So I'm just going to soften this one just slightly, and I might put a hint of that then up here as well. Just a little bit, and perhaps even just there and there, look. That looks nice up there, doesn't it? And a very dry brush. And it's just trial and error. Believe me, I've made many mistakes with clouds, and I've messed up many paintings in the past. It's just trying it, see if it works. Let's put a couple of hints of light along here. You know, I'm kind of messing with the brush. I'm letting the brush kind of dance around here and there. Okay, I'm not being very careful like this. I'm just letting the brush, you know, look, see, twist it, leave it, touch the canvas here and there, and it gives it a nice natural feeling. Now I'm going to zoom back very slightly there, because I want to put one just on the top. So you see this cloud? So let's imagine now the sun is coming up and hitting that cloud underneath, and it's going to shine some sunlight up and underneath that cloud. So let me take some of that bright colour again, and underneath here, not on top, I'm going to flick it up just gently like this, okay? There, see? As easy as that. And I'm softening it back up into that cloud then. And that's it. Now we can create some nice little clouds down here if you want. I'm really liking these big bright sort of clouds here that really catch your eye I'm very happy with these. Let me just brighten this one out just ever so slightly again. And soften it back. And then I'm going to put one or two little ones just here and there. I'm not too sure about this side yet. I suppose we could add a couple over here if we wanted. Just the odd kind of one catching the sunlight. Just here and there. Perhaps one or two here. Okay, nice and easy, keeping it simple again. And I think just one or two perhaps just down here. And we are doing quite well, aren't we? 32 minutes in and we've all this done already, isn't that amazing? 32 minutes and we've created this beautiful sky. That's unbelievable, isn't it? Fantastic. Okay, let's do a couple of nice little ones. These ones are going to be very kind of off in the distance. So I'm taking a bit of, let's take some phaylo blue with some white. I'm going to soften some of these way off in the distance, look. Now I will soften these back in again, they won't be this bright, because this is a bit bright, isn't it? Now I'm going to use my finger, look, soften them in, there and there. So there could be, we say, rain off in the distance, or whatever the case may be. In fact, we could even create some rain coming down. Let's take some, with our finger, okay, whichever finger you like, take some white and let's try and drag some of that down, just like so. Just creating the impression of some rain off in the distance, kind of swooping down from the sky. Understand? So we don't have to use our brushes for everything, you know. We do have fingers, you know, they're the best tools that you can use. There we go. See? Some nice little rain clouds kind of coming down. And then let's take some more of that dark bluey colour and let's add a hint of some nice clouds off in the distance. I will put some light on some of these, so the sunlight could be catching some of them here and there. And you can see I'm being very fast because I find if you take your time too much, if I'm going to do things very, very slowly and very meticulously, it just doesn't feel natural. I've always found that when I was painting. If I try to slow myself down too much, everything becomes too sort of forced. So I like to kind of really kind of go along very quickly, just putting bits of paint in here and there, and then that's when you really stand back and you notice how dramatic it really looks. There we are. And I might, let me just lighten one or two here and there as well, because that's quite lonely over here. I'm trying to create a bit of balance in the painting, you see. So a little bit of cloud on each side, but not too much. Now let me just stand back. Let me just take a look at this. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? That's not bad. I wouldn't say that's too bad at all. Let me see now. Let me see. What could we do next? Again, I don't want to spoil it. It does look quite nice, doesn't it? I might add one or two lights just down around the end, just a little bit. Let's just assume, or let's just pretend that the sun is kind of catching one or two of these here, just here and there. Let's take a bit more Naples yellow now in this. I want to get some sunlight on these. So a little Naples yellow, and let's take a touch of the magenta. Just the tiniest little touch now with the corner of our brush. Let's just warm that Naples yellow very gently. And there, now you see we have a nice warm colour there. So let's try that again. A hint of magenta or crimson, whichever you prefer. A hint of Naples yellow. And a hint of white. And we could even go up here and put some on these. See? Isn't that a lovely complementary colour now? How it really just kind of jumps out. And let's put a little bit along here and there. And I'm cleaning my brush very regularly now as well, alright? Keep it nice and clean, and that'll keep our colours nice and fresh. Again, Naples yellow, magenta, a touch of white. Let's go up and add a little warmth up here. So now we can begin to see the warmth from the sun really kind of coming through, can't we? And let's go more with this. I think we make this a bit brighter here. And the same with this one. I want to bring this light colour back a little bit further into the painting. So let me just mix up a bit of light colour for this. I want to bring this back just a little bit more into the cloud. I just want to give that a bit more of an impact up there. So I'm going to just do circular motions, soften it back in, round and round and round, nice and easy, look, nice and simple, just like that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That's turning out quite nice, isn't it? Now I will just brighten the ones just at the bottom, just a little. So let me take again some white, some Naples yellow, and a touch of the magenta. And I want to put just one really nice one, just around here. There we go, soften it down. This would be very difficult to do now if it was acrylics, because everything would be very kind of dry, and it would be very difficult to blend colours together. So this is all still wet down here. I can still soften colours in as I see fit. No problem, no worries. Look, see? I can soften them right in. No problemo. And I might get a bit of dark colour, real dark colour, for this just here. Look, I'm going to pull some real dark colour down into that sky there, look at that. Some phaylo blue and some black. And again, let's get our finger and create a nice little curve on this. And look, we can soften all this in. I tell you something, I'm getting very dirty today. Look at this, huh? My hands were never so dirty, look. I tell you something. And this is great fun. I really am enjoying this. This is lots of fun. Right, I'm just going to sit back now and just take a good look at this. Isn't that a nice dramatic sky there? What do you think about that? Okay, I'll put just one or two small ones. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil it. I just want to break up this cloud just a little. Alright, just a little. So just with a little bit of white and blue, I'm going to put another one just here. Okay, again, I'm not going to spoil it. and just soften it in with our fingers, look. We don't have to have the blender brush all of the time, do we? Now, that's better. I'm quite happy now with this, it's coming on lovely. And just up in the corner up there, I want to just highlight this a little bit more. This is just my easy technique now of doing a sky like this. Just, it's nice and easy. Keeping it nice and simple, but it's not oversimplified either. Okay, so it's a nice, I think it's a nice sky for you to try. If you know, if you could incorporate this kind of a sky now into your paintings, you'll do fantastic skies. There we go, look at this. Softening these in very slightly. And I would say that's pretty much done, wouldn't you? I'm going to soften some of these brush strokes on this side up here. And how about we call that finished? Now let me stand back and have a good look at this. Ah yeah, that's a nice sky now, isn't it? Nice stormy sky. That was my stick there. The old bit of timber on this stand that I have. So, what do we think? Now we can always change this a little bit next week if you want. If you think it could be a lot more dramatic, we could, and some could go over some of it. You know, I like the way it's nice and light over in this corner, I like that. That's quite nice. And stormy clouds coming down into the sky. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. What do we think? Give me some comments, and if you want to change a few things next week, we can. Alright? I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. Send me a few comments, let me see what you think. I'll put it out there for you to judge. And if you think I could make it a bit more stormy or something, I can go back over some of it next week, because it'll be dry anyway. So it'll be easy enough to go back over some of it. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want any of my brushes, just send me an email at stephencom@12gmail.com, and I can post them lovely little stubby brushes to you. They're fantastic. They really are. For this kind of, for clothes, they're brilliant. So yes, stay tuned. Part 2 next week. I will do the sea, the big lovely ocean, a very rough ocean, up and down, in and out. Some nice waves, and we'll start on the boat, the big sailboat. And we're going to have some nice bright colours then hitting those sails from the sun in the sky. Okay? Does that make sense? So go on, go off and get yourself a cup of tea and let me know what you think. Any advice, any comments, hints and tips, any questions, just let me know. I'd be only too happy to answer them for you. And remember, don't be afraid. Just get your brush and do it. Because if you don't try, you'll never know. Isn't that right? So go on, go off and do some painting, and I will see you again next week. And thanks very much for joining me. And thank you for your support as well. It means a lot, it really does. So God bless.